Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the esteemed Professor Jameson Jeffries here, and I have a very important topic that I need to talk to you about today. And I've got my notes here, and I just need a topic from somebody. Can I get a suggestion? Yes, perfect way to eat a sandwich. The proper way to eat a sandwich. Yes, that is something I absolutely know everything about, and I just so happen to have a slideshow presentation here set up by me in the past because I knew what you were going to talk about today. So here we go. Yes, of course, you must be a gladiator. That makes perfect sense that you need to know exactly what's going on. As you can see in this slide, we have gladiator man. His name is Rusbin Croson, and he clearly wants to entertain you by eating a sandwich the perfect way. So I totally get what's going on here. I put this slide in here to display that eating a sandwich properly can be a competitive sport. If you did not know, there is competitive sandwich eating, and they grade you on technique, presentation, and overall showmanship. So I wanted to illustrate that today. And then, of course, we have here, as we have the child in this picture. I put this slide in here because the child in this picture illustrates that while you are seeing somebody gracefully eat a sandwich properly, you must also depict it on in artistic form. That's exactly what you need to do. Yeah, that makes total sense. And the couple shown in the picture is clearly showing the proper way to get ready to prepare to eat the sandwich. That's what it is. That's why I put that in. You must stretch. You must do a couple stretch before. Yeah, clearly, that's what I have in my notes. Is I put this slide to illustrate that a proper stretching technique with a capable partner is what's needed before you properly eat a sandwich. So let's see here. Lorem ipsum correctly is because in the correct pronunciation of the term lorem ipsum, as we all know, Latin is the world's original language. So anybody who uses the English alphabet, their language was based in English. Yes, it based in Latin. So clearly, we see here in the correct pronunciation. This gives you the instructions back in the day of how to correctly and properly eat a sandwich. So I wanted to make it very authentic and original when I put this slide up here because this depicts the correct instructions back in the original days of how to properly eat a sandwich. And as you can see here on this third line, this one says how your hand should be placed. Palectisque vermutum octu ad vilit pertium id rocus nissu blandit. So blinded right there, it means that you have to correctly, one thumb underneath and four fingers on top is how you correctly hold the sandwich, and then the rest of it depicts how your left hand should be. And then the last line, vivamus, means we all need to grab a napkin without spilling a lot of crumbs. A little bit of crumbs is fine, just not too many crumbs. That's not the proper way to eat a sandwich and leave a mess. And of course, I depicted here, I know we don't have time to read every one of these little thought bubbles, but it clearly depicts here how you should, the reasons to not change how after, in the previous slide where it showed the original Latin instructions to properly eat a sandwich, the reasons not to change after 3,000 or over a million years, it doesn't really matter how you interpret evolution, but in this case we're talking about the evolution of the proper etiquette of eating a sandwich. And the thought bubbles are here as we go through history. The philosophers and the anthropologists, as they documented the different changes but not complete changes of the process of properly eating a sandwich, here, this is their thoughts documented in through history, the 50 reasons not to change. So every time somebody strayed from the proper technique, somebody had a thought and they documented it. And these are the thought bubbles here, in chronological order, with the top being, of course, the earliest, all the way down to the end, which is I'm all for it, but. So somebody's like, thumb, they wanted to reverse the fingers and have the thumb on top. It's like, no, I'm all for it, but that's too crazy. You get too many crumbs sliding through your fingers instead of just the one thumb on belief. And of course, it's too visionary, which means you're going too far with it. It's just a sandwich, man. And then, the thought came up. So that's what happened. And we see here my buddy Jeremy wearing the proper attire for eating a sandwich. You want the bright colors to let everybody know that the sandwich technique is being done here. It's like, hey, everybody, you want to eat a sandwich properly? I'm Jeremy, and I got the proper attire. And of course, you don't want pants, a kilt slash skirt, a utility, because I see he included the pockets there just in case you need extra napkins. You never know; it could be an open face sandwich, and you need utensils to cut up the sandwich. So Jeremy wanted to say that it was very breezy, and he did not get overheated while eating the sandwich because of the open, in the middle there. He just had the openness, and of course, he's got the rubber shoes on because the sandwich. You got the little bit of crumbs during the proper process that falls down. You don't want to get on your new shoes. This way, you could just walk outside, or you're already outside, and you could just brush the crumbs off really quick. So he wanted to say that he accessorized with the shoes matching the belt, but proper technique without overheating. Yeah, that's all he wanted to say about that. And that is a very spiffy goatee, if I do say there so myself. And then for some reason in the early days, before they came up with the proper technique, so this is a slide to depict what happens when you do not eat sandwich properly in public with the correct technique. So most of the times, you see the red or the circle graph there that you were worried that somebody might have seen you, and then you have the very green pie piece there saying, "Am I okay?" So this depicts that 95% of the time your ego gets hit because you just didn't have the finger placement correctly, and then you're eating it in public, so you made a fool of yourself. Hopefully, it wasn't like a blind date or anything like that, because that would just spell disaster with all the red there. So I don't think you have a high chance of a second date if you did not eat the sandwich properly on the first date. So it's like a 5% chance you're okay, and then everything else is like, did anybody see me? Did my date see me? Eat that sandwich improperly. And as I said in the first slide there, we had Gladiator Geraldo Butler, in that it is a competition. So you want it's gladiatorial combat, eating the sandwich correctly. This is mate philosophy here. So it could cost you your next relationship if you fail to eat a sandwich correctly. And once again, I want to reiterate that not only is proper sandwich etiquette gladiatorial combat, but it could cause a world war. That's why I want to put this picture of this nice man in military garb guarding this APC, all-purpose carrier vehicle. Once again, I just want to reiterate that could be considered a war crime to not eat the sandwich correctly and have the four fingers and the one on top and the one thumb on the bottom. So I just wanted to drive that point home, that not only could you mess up your future relationship by not eating the sandwich correctly, but you could also create an international incident. I wanted to put in there. I think I have a couple more slides here. Let's see. And on the instructions now, on the official instructions of the sandwich eating, proper sandwich eating technique, We put this label on there. Wanted somebody to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. You'll get paid after we get. Yeah, they have the PO box there. Must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. But only done this once before. So somebody, the person, Professor von Liechtenstein, is the one that found the previous slide with the Latin instructions, and he kind of went overboard. And it was like, now the technique, you saw the 50 changes. He's like, this is too much. I really want to go back in time to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He literally meant back in the day when they found those sandwich eating instructions, and he wanted to go back, and just he couldn't take it anymore. He's like, they've changed it too much now, and I just want to go back to the way it used to be recorded in instructions. So he translated those instructions to current English, and he just couldn't take it, so he had to go back. This is his advertisement to find somebody. He took it very seriously. As you see, it says this is no joke. So if you want to get a hold of Professor Liechtenstein, just go ahead and email him at that PO box. Okay. I wanted to illustrate the percentage of people total and by age and educational level, income, Asian ethnicity, and then with kids under the legal age of who took these instructions and successfully completed them. As you can see, the total is a little below 50%. So we got to get that number up all across the board. Everything else is above 50, so that's a big change from the last 10 years where everybody was below 50%. But those Asian sandwiches in the Korean bistros took off. So the etiquette was taught very seriously. It's almost like a Japanese tea ceremony. We had the whole entire thing documented, and we wanted to get those kids under 18 up on the right path. So I see we've changed since the last 10 years to now. It's a 13% increase. I'm just so happy that this technique is being adopted by all different cultures, educational levels, young adults and underage young adults. They're adopting it very quickly. It's a huge jump from the previous 20 years till now. And of course, everything leads back to X. It's like a treasure map. We were way over there eating sandwiches improperly, and they started out back in the 3,000 or million years ago. However you decide human evolution works. This is not a religious debate. We wanted to teach the proper etiquette, so everything comes back to here. And of course, X marks the spot. It was a long road from all that time, and then now we found the original instructions. So hopefully, you can come back to here, where everything should be, and the proper sandwich technique is adopted by everybody. Hopefully, you can raise those percentages up in the next 10 years. Thank you. I want to thank all my colleagues for helping me with this presentation and getting this procedure out to everybody. Have a good day.